Welcome back to the Consulting Mind. Today I'm going to share with you something about strategy. The top 5 rules that every strategist should bear in mind, as shared by a former McKinsey consultant, Kinaji Omei, who is a former head of McKinsey companies in Tokyo office. So the first rule is to abstain from the fear of what if. Very often, when we have to make a decision under a difficult, ambiguous, or complicated scenario, we'll likely have the tendency to defer the decision to be made or defer the recommendation to be given because we are fear of the moving part evolve. So in these circumstances, he told us that we should instead master the alternatives well under this under different scenario, and we have to understand each option pros and cons in different situation, which will allow us to make a agile decision according to different scenario. Like if A happened, we should do B instead, and if C happened, we should do the option D. So we don't rely on a single set of decision as our only solution. We master our solution well, that we know we have a basket of alternatives which will be ready for different scenario, and we make our decision according to the evolve of the situation. So to achieve this, essentially we'll have to be willing to embrace the ambiguity. And to embrace the ambiguity, we should equip ourselves with sufficient preparation, such that we're able to foresee when this happens, we're able to provide these solutions. That's rule number 1. So the second rule is to abstain from professionalism. Very often when we make a decision, we'll like to defer the decision until everything is getting crystal clear, until everything is getting the so-called finalized, and until every piece of information has been gathered and figured out. But we have to bear in mind that things are changing really fast. So a little bit better strategy will mean we will already be able to take in market shares from the competitors according to how much we're getting better. So we don't have to be 100% better than our competitor. We just have to be 1% better than our competitors, and then we're able to grab the 1% market shares from them. Let alone we can further leverage on that. So to do that, we have to always be ready to know how our opponent fights, how our competitor plays, and then we can strategize accordingly. Timing is always a critical element in terms of strategy, so we cannot afford the price for waiting for the perfect solution. We will have to act fast, react fast, and accommodate fast according to the situations. And the third rule is always be prepared to challenge the key success factors, KFS, which is also my favorite one. So every result, no matter it's business result or personal achievement result, is always driven by a few key successful factors. A great strategist or consultant can always identify those most critical ones and leverage on that. So when we say identify, it means that we don't do 100 things. We pick a few things from those 100 things which is most important, that will have the biggest leverage impact on the overall holistic result, no matter on the personal level or on the company business level. So the leverage means that, like we put into company context, it means that we focus on our own responsibility relating to our position, our functional, our business nature, and then we focus on that to improve, to coordinate it. And then we have to always ask the question. We have to start to ask questions like, what are the key contributors to my company's success over the past few years? Why was that? Will those factors still valid in these coming years? Why was that? What will be the coming key successful factors to my company? And the fourth one is not to be limited by constraint conditions. Very often when we have to moving forward, when we have to march ahead, we often face obstacle or face feedback from different parties, like the budget is not enough, the resource is not enough, we are not sure about the market reaction yet, the company's competitors are already doing so. So I will call this as this and that cannot work approach, which will leave us a very few options. And when that arises, when that happens, we will have to ask ourselves or ask the relevant party that what is or what are the particular and the exact issue that worrying you, that frustrate you. We have to identify and articulate it. And then we have to focus on that one obstacle or that few obstacle at personal or at company level. And we have to concentrate, focus 100% resource to address instead of focusing to diverging the energy, diverging focus to talk about different subject. We have to focus, laser focus at one thing at a time to move things forward. And the final one is that we should not rely on memory. We should place analytical capability and conceptual innovative capability over memory. Memory is great, but what it can do is only help us to remember stuff, knowledge, factual things. But more important is that how we are going to play, how we are going to leverage with this information. We have to able to make sense of this information by applying our analytical and innovative capability. So we should avoid from only absorbing fractional information like from the day-to-day news that we cannot see the whole picture, see what is happening at a higher level, at a more macro level. And we should practice deliberately to solve some unsolvable problem on a daily basis. So that's the 5 rules that I'm going to share with you today, and I hope you like this strategy series. If you think these tips help you a bit on your business, please click the like button for me and subscribe the channel. See you soon.